All right. Turn my headphones up. We good? Turn my headphones up. Can you hear me? Let's see. All right, looks like it. Looks like we're live. It's Friday night live, Friday evening, Friday afternoon, I guess, depending on where you're at. And there's obviously so much going on between Ye, who remains in the news ad nauseum no matter what happens, and I'm the number one Ye fan, but you definitely got to get sick of it after a certain amount, right? After a certain point in time, it kind of grows old. So maybe Ye can go ahead and drop another album. It's been just a little over a year since we got that Donda. Then we got that Donda 2 that wasn't really anything. It was kind of, again, I can't stress enough, I'm number one Ye fan, but Donda 2 on the stem player was not that good. And of course, the people at Stem said they were going to drop Ye from the stem player. And I assume they got a bunch of backlash because they actually posted that no music has been removed from stem right now. We're going to keep you posted. But you got to think about it. People who were buying the stem player were huge number one, huge Ye fans. So if they're going to try to cut ties with him, that basically that's their entire business. We're not talking about the Gap. We're not talking about Adidas, where they have, decades and decades of business of being a mainstream business without Kanye West. But the stem player, nobody knew until Kanye West co-signed it. And that's probably how it's going to be again if they cut ties with him, because they want to jump on the cancel culture bandwagon. So yeah, there's a lot, and we're going to get back to Ye, but I want to talk a little bit about Paul Pelosi first. We all know what's happening with that. Hang tight one moment. Let's go ahead and post to Instagram real quick. See if we can get some people to tune in, you know what I'm saying? See if this works. We're building right now. You know what I mean? All right, see if that works. We shall see. But before we get to Ye, because there's a lot going on, I want to specifically talk about academics, an academics post, and a Charlemagne the Fraud post. But first, this is so predictable. From Vice News, of course, man accused of attacking Nancy Pelosi's husband left trail of far-right hate. And it really gets no more predictable than this, right? Like, we saw this coming a mile away. Like, if a hurricane hits Florida, naturally, it's Ron DeSantis' fault. It's climate change. It just gets no more predictable than this, right? So, it's far-right hate. And as this is happening, of course, they are going to continue to ignore the far-left hate and riotous behavior that, has sort of quelled itself. But, you know about the Summer of Love, obviously, in 2020. And then they did like a minor little Summer of Love with the Roe v. Wade Dobbs thing. But then, of course, they had the outlier, that guy out in Virginia who I think tried to come after Kavanaugh, and they got him. So they're always going to ignore that stuff, and as soon as this happens, they're going to call it far right. And for the record, though, I don't think that the real lefties, the real radical weirdos, like the Pelosi family anyway. They don't like Nancy Pelosi. AOC doesn't even like Nancy Pelosi, and she's an establishment shill. So I don't think anybody really likes the Pelosi family, and for good reason. I'm not saying this is okay, far from it. We will always forever condemn any political violence, but are we fooling ourselves into believing that there's a large group of people out there that just love Nancy and Paul Pelosi, who have been allegedly insider trading for decades and drunk driving around and making the help wear masks and going to the closed salon while they told everybody else that they couldn't even leave the house? So I don't think there's a huge segment of the population. Of course, they're going to use it as a political weapon because it's only a week and a half before the election, so that's natural. That's what the establishment's going to do. But is there anybody really out there who's going to say, oh, I love Nancy Pelosi. She's done so good? No, of course not. And like I always say, there's nobody who knows anything about any of this stuff that's going to defend it, right? Except for a handful of people in the mainstream media. But you are either blindly obeying because you don't know anything about what's going on, or you can't stand it. There's nobody who looks at this and says, even the weirdo Instagram progressive lefties aren't going to go to bat for the Pelosi family. I'm just saying, again, I can't stress enough that this is not okay, even though I do have some tinfoil hat theories about what actually happened, especially considering that this attack on Pelosi, of course, it's at his home. Nancy Pelosi is third in line for the presidency, and a random guy was able to just get into his house, their house. It just doesn't really add up. So close to the election and so close to what happened with Arizona gubernatorial candidate Katie Hobbs, who says her headquarters was broken into only a couple days earlier. Again, only a week and a half before the election. It just doesn't really make sense. It seems to me like they're trying to create headlines at really any cost. So I don't know. It seems a little fishy. I can't say, obviously, I don't know. I'm going to just take them for their word. I hope this guy gets well soon. And it's not like, look, I'm not going to be rude here, but bro, you've been Dewey driving around. You've been insider trading. Sometimes karma catches up, bro. Again, we're not condoning this and by any stretch of the imagination. But if this is even remotely close to being a real thing, sorry. I mean, this is what happens after, you and your wife for 90 years or however old I think she's older than Joe Biden. I'm not quite sure. But this is Vice going to bat for the establishment. And do we think the people at Vice are just going to bat for Paul Pelosi out of the kindness of their heart, or is there some sort of backdoor deal? I always think there's a backdoor deal. Not always, but in recent months, I should say, we used to talk about incompetence or malice, right? That's a long-running question, and I kind of was going back and forth for a long time, but now it's really quite clearly malice, and I'm sure there's more details. Apparently, this guy was from Berkeley, which notoriously is not a hard right-wing place, but Vice is going to tell us that it's okay to be white, faking of Adolf Hitler for history, and Q. Vice News identified several blogs filled with far-right conspiracy theories under the name David DePop. I don't know. Vice News took numerous steps to verify that the blogs belong to DePop. One of the blogs, which was updated the night before the attack, features a wide range of topics, including Pedogate, Great Reset, voter discrepancies, the Jubes, Rona. The posts go on long diatribes against women, Jewish people, and black people. Okay, well, maybe we should go ahead and read this article and get to some of those links, huh? Should we do that? Let's do that. Let's click the link in bio here. I'll bite because we want to see exactly what these people are talking about, right? Let's go link in bio. Support all journalism. No thanks. Far right hate. It's just so predictable. The man who allegedly broke into Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco home and bludgeoned her husband. Sorry, that's not funny. I apologize. Appeared to ascribe to a grab bag of far-right conspiracy theories. 42. Let's see. Is this the... We have all... What? I mean, I guess I can understand they don't want to promote this guy's website, but can we... here's a picture of it. Q. David DePepe. Okay, so yeah. Anybody who ever said Epstein didn't kill himself, of course, is far right, even though I'm pretty sure I'm under the impression. I'm pretty sure I'm under the impression that we basically all agreed that the Epstein stuff was a little fishy. I just witnessed a team of FBI agents knock on the door of Berkeley home. Yes, he's from Berkeley. So typically Berkeley is not known for far-right extremists, but this is what they're going to do. And like I said, my only point here, and look, maybe this can be something we can look into at a later date, I wish they would post the links to this. I have one screenshot, which, of course, if we're talking about Vice News, we really cannot trust. But it's just so predictable. That's the point. It's like they love this stuff. Every time something happens, they love being able to play a victim card. They love being able to point the finger directly across the aisle like Katie Hobbs did, right? When her office was broken into. And then, of course, immediately said, the election denier, Carrie Lake, is the one who did this. They've been spreading misinformation, and that's why it happened. And then it turns out that it's like a Democrat immigrant who broke in and stole a computer or something. So it's the same thing, and it's just the timing for me, okay? It's the timing, especially with here. Let's see if we can get to the Katie Hobbs thing. And then we'll go to Ye, because Paul and Katie, this is kind of connected, right? So less than 2 weeks before the election, Katie Hobbs's campaign headquarters broken into. She immediately blames Carrie Lake for spreading disinformation, misinformation, or whatever. And then it turns out it was a bisexual Dem immigrant, apparently. So, and while that's happening, Carrie Lake is up 11 points in the polls. And a local Phoenix news, quote unquote, news station, a local Phoenix fake news rag, puts the results of an election that hasn't happened on TV. So let's see what Carrie Lake has to say about it. And again, it's the timing. The timing is the thing with the Pelosi stuff, and besides the timing, obviously security. Like I said, Nancy Pelosi is third in line for the presidency. And before the news came out that they found this guy from Berkeley, I was kind of under the impression that he was in there just drinking whiskey and playing poker with his buddies, and it got violent, to be honest with you. I mean, I think we can all agree that the political establishment, especially in California, can be tied up with a very seedy element, right? You can ask Senator Leland Yee, who did time for running guns. You can ask Gray Davis, who was recalled. You can ask Soros-sponsored ex-San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin. I mean, these people are all tied up with a horrible, seedy element. In New York, of course, obviously, that goes without saying. Never forget Brian Benjamin or Benjamin Bryan or whatever, lieutenant governor to unelected governor Kathy Hochul, who was taken down on wire fraud and money laundering or whatever. Not even that long ago. That was like 6 months ago that happened. And not Katie Hobbs, Kathy Hochul, one and the same, right? It's all the same. These corrupt establishment hacks. She's out there pretending that crime is a figment of your imagination and she's never done anything wrong. Good old kickback Kathy. But I digress. I'm getting off track. This is just like obviously a stream of consciousness thing. But let's see what Katie Hobbs has to say about the fake news, that Katie Hobbs, I always get them, Katie and Carrie, they're too close. They need to fight it out. They need to do like a Jello wrestling match or something. But this is not Carrie talking about the fake news station that ran the results of an election that hasn't happened yet. This is a clip of Carrie Lake talking about Katie Hobbs accusing her of breaking into her headquarters when it turns out it was a Democrat immigrant.
They did that is because this was the real news yesterday that none of you wanted to cover. We're 11 points up. You're in a frenzied panic because your chosen candidate is not winning. You didn't want to cover this, so you had to run with a completely garbage bullshit story. Shame on each and every one of you. Shame on you.
There he is. There he is. I don't know if you guys could see that. Turns out it was a bisexual.
They did that is because this was the...
Okay. All right. So there you have it. These things are just too suspicious for me. Maybe I'm too deep in. Maybe my tinfoil hat is on too tight. But it just seems a little strange. Also, we have the Colorado Secretary of State sending out voter registration reminders to non-citizens. It just goes on and on and on. So yeah, that's it. Moving on. Also, actually, really quick, because we talked about Vice, let's go to this Vice story. What I learned cover. See what I'm saying? We don't even have to watch it. I'm not even going to watch it because I know it's all nonsense. It's this guy talking about, oh, the KKK, the white nationalist extremists. Oh, he's just crying about how there's 40 racist people in the country. That's what this is. But you see how quick they are to just say far right hate. What I learned covering a far right extremist group. Will they ever, if they even wanted to pretend to be a news outlet, they could at least, you could at least acknowledge the fact that far left exists. They won't even say the words far left, right? You can at least acknowledge that it exists. You don't have to condemn it. You don't have to say that they're violent or they were rioting or anything like that. You can just simply acknowledge that it exists because it does. It 100% does. They're pretending that it doesn't. They will never cover it, but every other post, as far as Vice News is concerned, is going to be far right. Okay, all right. I've talked about it, so let's just go ahead and watch it.
This is Ronaldo Nazaro, otherwise known by his aliases Roman Wolf and Norman Spear.
He founded and led a far-right white nationalist organization known as The Base.
I've covered him and his group for nearly 4 years. Here's what I've learned about one of the more dangerous far-right groups to emerge from the US in the last decade. At its height, the group was nearly 50 men, spread out across the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. I counted a lot of guys with military backgrounds, and that includes Brian Lemley Jr., an Iraq war veteran, and Patrick Matthews, who was an ex-Canadian soldier. Both of them conspired together to shoot up a 2020 Virginia gun rights rally in Richmond. One's on Georgia had planned an assassination.
Wait, they were going to shoot up a gun rights rally? Okay. I just don't buy any of this from Vice. I think it's all, like, they're not going to just blatantly lie, but they're going to frame it in such a way to obviously make you believe something that's not really the case, in my opinion.
Against an Antifa member, and one in Michigan had planned various mass shootings, including one that was apparently supposed to be targeting the Vice News headquarters.
One that was apparently supposed to be. Those are weasel words. Apparently supposed to be targeting Vice. Yeah, okay. Just out of, sure, bro.
Luckily, the FBI threw at least one undercover and an anti-fascist infiltrator.
And the FBI and an anti-fascist infiltrator. Okay, so I have for a long time maintained that the FBI is basically the government endorsed version of Antifa, right? So Antifa is just like the foot soldiers. They're always going to pretend that it doesn't really exist. It's just a concept, but they are doing the same work. It's just that one is part of the federal government, right? So the FBI are the legal henchmen that's going to go after political opponents, and Antifa are the illegal henchmen that are going to go after political opponents. And they are, look, I don't know, I can't talk about payola or anything like that, but it's just all so sketchy. They're doing the same job, but just from different angles. And that's why he lumps them in together, because the FBI and an anti-fascist. So you notice how he also doesn't say Antifa, because that kind of has a stigma to it. But if he says anti-fascist activists, they stop these people. Yeah, right, bro.
We're able to take down the group, and now over a dozen of its members are facing 100+ years of prison time. Look, this group has been pretty scary, but at the same time, they've done some pretty absurd stuff. This one time, they had a paramilitary training exercise where they stole a ram from a local farm, cut its head off, dropped acid, and drank its blood. One of the other more curious things...
That, for the record, sounds like an old thing Vice would do. I'm just saying, like, that's the type of stuff that Vice used to cover.
Is that the founder and former leader, Ronaldo Nazaro, he lives in Russia, and he was not only a former Department of Homeland Security employee, we know that he was a DoD contractor who was said to have worked with U.S. Special Forces in the 2010s. The fact that he's in Vladimir Putin's country and not facing any prosecution has raised some people to speculate whether or not he's a spy.
He appeared on a Kremlin-sponsored news channel denying that he was an extremist and basically any kind of spy.
That exact news channel is actually banned in several countries since the invasion of Ukraine. Nazaro remains at large in St. Petersburg, Russia, while the base has been extremely crippled from all of the FBI takedowns, but apparently it's still out there.
Yeah, okay. So you should still be very scared. This guy, this
is Ronaldo Nazaro.
Sorry. This group they're linked to Russia, and the FBI and anti-fascist activists help take them down, and he lives in Russia now, Kremlin, he's in Putin, and that news channel. It's like, dude, every single thing. And that's what they do. That's what Vice News, quote unquote news, that's what they do nonstop. So, all right, that aside, I mean, there's so much nonsense here. I just was tracking all this and just, kind of seeing if I could go back, seeing what I could put together. But this is the one that I really wanted to talk about. Ye has reportedly cut ties with Kanye West, which of course is just a joke. That's a post from DJ Academics where he asks will you still support Kanye after all of this? And of course, I'm in there. You can see me. Absolutely. I stand with Ye always. And I want to go through some of these comments because obviously there's thousands of them. Actually, so there's more than 1 million likes and how many comments? 78,000 comments. So obviously we're not going to go through all of those, but I do want to go through some. But that's kind of the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about here. But before we even get there, this is another funny one, right? The National Down Syndrome Society, National Disability Rights, National Down Syndrome Congress, and this is a post from TMZ. Kanye West is catching heat for using the R word to describe President Biden. See how folks who advocate for those with Down syndrome and disabilities are calling Ye out at the link, I guess is what that is. So yeah, I'm not going to bite on this one. I'm not going to click the link in bio because I know it. I mean, this is what they do though, is they just cut every single angle. So at first it was, go back through the years from George Bush doesn't care about black people to Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, to slavery was a choice, to White Lives Matter, to DEFCON, like DEFCON, I believe that's how you spell it, to, him saying the R word. Oh my, they're just coming at him from every single angle because he won't fall in line. It's just that simple. You don't have to agree with what he's saying, even though most of it is true. He's not the most articulate. He's not, gonna explain it. It makes sense. You know what I mean? In his head, it's like he thinks we can see what he sees, but we can't. So it doesn't always come out in the most articulate way. But nothing he's ever done is that outlandish. Again, like I said, out of everything that Kanye has said or done, he's never said anything even remotely as insane as I identify as a woman. That's just the facts, right? So they want to get him at every single angle because he's not going to just say, if he would have said Donald Trump doesn't care about black people, they would put him on a pedestal. There would be magazine covers. Everybody would just love him. But now everybody's hopping on the bandwagon. We cut ties, and that's the joke now. We cut ties. Everybody's cutting ties. And meanwhile, Adidas, who he didn't even really want to work with anymore, as I understand it, they cut ties, and now they're going to lose $250 billion. STEM player, which was Kanye was the only thing they had going, and they cut ties because they're that much, they're just weenies, they're cowards. Nori and Drink Champs Revolt, they pull the podcast episode. The Shop with LeBron James and I think it's Mav Carter, they bring him in to do a podcast, and then they cut the episode because he won't say what they want him to say. Fredo Cuomo interviews him, and Fredo says, Kanye, are you taking your medicine? Are you behaving? This is what they want, and he's not going to do it, so they're going to come at him from every possible angle. Every single one. It can't just be, this is internalized or he's experiencing white supremacy. It can't just be one thing. They have to come at it with every single thing. And think about it. Even if Spotify or Apple Music, they're dropping his playlist, they're not dropping all of the music, though, because they know that won't work. For 2 decades, this man has been putting out classic albums, and you are going to have millions of people who are going to drop their subscription if they can't listen to Ye on there anymore. It's just a fact. So, all that said, Academics, obviously, huge YouTuber, influencer. He did embarrass himself on the Fresh and Fit podcast recently. That's a completely different story where he's screaming. I don't know. Maybe that's probably Henny Demics. I don't know if you guys remember Henny Demics when he, turns into just kind of like Henny Kanye in 2009 with Taylor Swift. The Hennessy makes people act up. Anyways, So Academics poses the question to his millions of followers. I think he's got 4 million or something. Let's see. Let's check it out, actually. Let's see how many. 5 million. 5.1 million he posed the question to, right? Will you still support Kanye after all this? I stand with Ye. Always. Absolutely. That's me. He made graduation, so we always going to support him. That has 4,449 likes just on that one comment, 45 replies. Kanye is waking up the world from the metrics. I think they mean matrix. But yes, I'll go ahead and like that too. I'll like this one too. Because he didn't. Graduation is a classic. We can talk about my favorite Kanye albums at another point in time, but this young lady says, yes, Kanye tells the truth and they can't control him like they do anyone and everyone in this industry. Adidas should have been canceled years ago for being the company that supported these people. Look, so you get the point. Ye really in his own world, we just living in it. Never go against a black man for your oppressors. Never. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. In Ye we trust. They intimidated by a smart black man. Let me know where I can purchase my next pair of Yeezys. I support anyone who speaks facts. Ye is better than 95% of black people. The truth hurts. Okay, that's kind of funny. But clearly, he still supports Ye. I've been riding with Kanye since college dropout. I'm never going against him. I mean, I wouldn't say never, right? Like, but if he actually does something that's complete, like, the media has turned this into an inappropriate thing. It's not really that crazy. But if he but they're trying to convince us that he's crazy. He's not. If he does something crazy, then we'll question it. I mean, look, the Yeezy Season 2 Space Rags or whatever, that was trash. Donda 2 was trash. We can say what's whack, but 95% of the time, yeah, he's just bringing the heat. It's just he's bringing the facts. He's bringing the heat. So let's keep going. There's what did I say? 78,000 comments. Okay, so here's one. I stopped effing with Kanye when he said slavery was a choice, which, okay, fine. That's kind of a brainwash sheet, but you can still see out of however many comments I've already read, that's the first one that's like, no. We still support the slave owners, so we can still support the confused slave. Ain't no difference. Not really sure what that's supposed to mean. This guy's going to try to go to bat for him. DEFCON 3 means increase enforced readiness above normal readiness. Exactly. People don't even know what the word means. Will be used in situations that may not pose immediate danger, but warrant significant alert. Kanye was trying to alert his people to look into these contracts. Tell me where that says anything about hurting anyone. That's his take. So people can see through all of this. I blame Kim for all this going on. I mean, the music ain't anti-Semitic. Exposing the government industry for what they really are and doing nothing but proving his point. Yeah, I mean, this is academics. You know what I'm saying? This is academics chat, right? This is academics comment section. This is not the establishment puppets. This is not the Now This News. This is not the Vice News people. These are people who are, fans of Ye, obviously, in the quote unquote culture, just kind of like the hood, bro. Like, just like real people who listen to rap music and watch YouTube videos. You know what I mean? These are just regular people, like the people that the establishment is trying to reach, clearly. That's why you have Stacey Abrams, going to, these rap thought, Lotto concerts or whatever in that Cardi B lane, because those are the people they're trying to influence. And when you look in this chat, you realize that it's not really working. Right? If you go to the hood in Brooklyn and start talking to some guys and they're not even really rocking Timbs like that anymore. But I was gonna say some guys smoking cigarettes and Tim boots outside the bodega in Flatbush, they can see through it all. It's the weirdo, university college kids who pretend that they're educated. They're the ones who are buying into the propaganda. They're the ones that are buying into the nonsense because they think that they've paid for this, $100,000 degree, that getting the brainwashing is what they paid for, basically, right? But if you go talk to the guy, ordering a bacon, egg, and cheese and a Lucy and a cup of coffee, he can see through all of it. The academics chat can see through all of it. You know what I mean? Imagine thinking Ye actually hates black people and Jewish people. Exactly. Like he didn't. Do you really think that, he's like, oh, I'm going to get these people. They need to, I'm going to. No, bro. He's just speaking the truth in a way that might not be the most articulate, and it throws the media into a frenzy because he won't obey. So imagine thinking Ye actually hates black people and Jewish people. Social media/media can really perpetuate lies and false narratives to finish you. Same thing they did with Tate. Exactly. So these people, for the most part, can see through it. Yes, I stand with Ye. You know what I mean? Wait, what is this one? Bro said the money is not who I am and goes around calling interviewers broke. That is true. He did that. That's actually pretty hypocritical. So he but still he's thinking about this logically, right? So Ye can go around calling Piers Morgan broke and saying I don't take advice from people who don't have any more money than me, which is going to be hard to do because there's very few people with more money than Kanye West, even as he takes a hit from his billionaire post or whatever it is. So yeah, and then he can post on Instagram or on Twitter or whatever that the money is not him, which is true. So again, that just goes to show you that there are people who are actually thinking about this and they're not just being brainwashed by the establishment. Yes, I stand with Ye. You should be more afraid of people who bite their tongue out of fear. Facts. Yes, he created College Dropout. That's always my go-to. It's like, if you didn't make College Dropout, then you really don't have any ground to stand on. Y'all mad because of the state of this world, but when someone tries to change it, y'all do shit like this. Okay. Yes, maybe we should learn that this man is really trying to tell us instead of us non-millionaires, billionaires knocking him down. We never stopped supporting. Yeah. Support going to the gym act. That's a lot of people like to make DJ Academics fat jokes. So, yeah, Ye for president. He got a plan. I support YB. Okay, that's another, academics thing. Young boy. Trump and Kanye 2024. So look, these are the people that we are told are supposed to be completely, we're oppressed. The racism. We hate Trump. And then you go to academics chat and they're like, yo, yay, Trump 2024. That's facts. That's dragon energy. You know what I'm saying? The man is passionate and it's entertaining. There's so many. The Most High sent us Ye to save us from sin. Like, all the way, Ye. Act need to cut ties with fast food. For sure with Ye. I stand with Ye. Never stop, never will. So, this is going to go on. All part of his plan. Ye for president. Absolutely, yeah. He the truth. Love Ye. Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I said. Yes. Yeah. They trying to bury this man, but they don't understand we the seeds. You know what I'm saying? So the people that they're trying to brainwash the most, look, obviously all of these, I don't know any of these people, but typically this is like the inner city. These are the people that they are trying to get to, and that's why they're so angry. I stand with Ye. Duh, if you think him black, you should. I don't know what that means. He ain't do no wrong in my eyes. I'm with Ye. It goes on like this for thousands and thousands of comments. Hashtag stand by Ye. Y'all didn't make Jesus walk, so yes, yeah. Yeah, it just, of course we stand with Ye. It goes on like this for thousands of comments. You know what I mean? 1,000%. Haven't stopped. So, yeah, this should tell you something, right? All these brands cutting ties. We cut ties. And this, I guarantee you, the stem player people were like, oh, damn. We just lost the only thing we had going, right? Donda 2, even though it was trash. There's a couple bangers on there, but like out of 15 or 16 songs, I think I had like three good joints. Yes. Yeah, so all these brands, we cut ties. That's because they're afraid of the machine, and Kanye's not afraid of the machine. So, look, this could go on for hours. You know what I mean? Kanye taking more heat than Jeffrey Epstein from the Hollywood elites. Let that sink in. Facts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The DJ Academics Instagram chat is not stupid. You know what I mean? So these are the people they're trying to get to. They're not really getting through to them. And all these brands that are cutting ties, all these banks that are cutting ties, they're so out of touch with people like this. These are the real people. You know what I'm saying? This is the hood. This is the Flatbush, Lucy Bodega cup of coffee guys in the flesh. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on. So that's what I wanted to look at, because I saw a couple of the comments, but I hadn't really looked that deep. I mean, 78.5 thousand comments. Obviously, that could take years to get through. But with that said, when we look at the support that Kanye is getting on DJ Academics chat, I want to look at this clip from Charlemagne the fraud, as I like to call him. And this is Charlemagne, but it was posted by Academics, and he's basically saying that Kanye's moving like somebody who's going to die because he didn't fall in line, because Charlemagne falls in line. Charlemagne is a Democratic establishment shield puppet. He gave Kamala Harris a platform to spew lies about Tupac and smoking weed, then gave her a platform to come back and, clean up those lies. And he, every once in a while, will say something that's mildly sane, but for the most part, he is a puppet shill hack. And he's basically saying that Kanye West not obeying means that he's going to, I don't know if somebody's going to get him or if he's going to get himself or what's going to happen.
Right. I hope that this is what it takes for him to actually
hurt people like you always say, man.
They do. And I hope that this is what helps him to go find some real healing, because clearly he's hurting. Right. And
wait, clearly he's hurting. What? Why? He's just speaking the truth. And the truth scares people like this, so you think Kanye's hurting. I don't think he's hurting at all. Yeah, he went through a divorce. That probably hurts, but it's like, what? He's just speaking the facts and just trying to be a scumbag shill, saying that, oh, this is so extreme. And that's the thing, is that they've turned everything that Kanye West says now into this extreme position, and none of it's extreme at all.
I don't see this ending well. I feel like he's moving like a person who doesn't feel like he's going to be here much longer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
how much longer?
I'm not even doing that, but I just feel like he's moving. I just feel like he's moving like a person who's not going to be here much longer, right? I hope.
Yeah, okay. And you can see the comments here. Speaking death into existence is terrible. He's hurting. Shout out Andrew. Why is everyone's take on Kanye so weak? It's like Trump, people just racing to disavow him to their overlords. Exactly. They just know that, oh, I have to disavow or otherwise I'm going to get canceled. That's a nasty convo to have these men are having. That's actually Kevin Durant, I believe. Easy money sniper. Yeah, that's Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Shout out KD, even though he's a softie with a burner Twitter account. Bro, you're sick. Are you kidding me? Why even talk like this? Not going to lie, I don't see Ye falling off. Him versus the world is literally boosting him. Yeah. Charmander, the guy, been praying on Ye downfall for decades. So you see what I'm saying? The people can see through this. This is the same account. This is Academics' account. So when Academics ask, oh, you still rocking with Ye? Thousands of comments say yes. And then when Charlemagne says, well, it looks like Kanye is going to die soon, everybody's like, yo, you're bugging. You know what I mean? Like, you lot ain't listening to what he's saying, though. If you see someone, moving like this on a regular, going through all types of shit, what Charlemagne would make sense. Kanye really deteriorating. I don't know why everyone's blind. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Kanye got billions and established foundation where he can never fall off no matter what. So, again, the point is, people see through this. And I take Academics chat pretty seriously. Like, this is the population that the establishment is really trying to reach. And again, if Academics says, y'all rocking with Ye still, and thousands of comments, 78,000 comments say yeah, and then Charlemagne says, oh, he's going to die. And they're like, bro, what are you talking about? And let's not forget that he is wearing a 1619 hoodie, race baiting CRT fake news hoodie. And Andrew Schultz, who I believe is sitting right here, who, everybody seems to like. I never really thought he was that funny. People seem to think he's good. He's got a couple of good jokes, but he did stand up to Netflix. I believe he had some abortion jokes they told him to take out, and he didn't do it. But when it's all said and done, he's still going to disavow because, he wants to. All of these people who are disavowing Kanye because somebody else disavowed Kanye or somebody else said you have to disavow Kanye, they just want that top spot. That's basically it. I mean, as corny as that sounds, it's just jealousy. Why do you want to date me? Once said a famous bartender. Anyways, so speaking of political hack shields, this is one I wanted to take a look at. It's Stacey Abrams dancing. This is from the Black Lives Matter Instagram account. Look at this. Look at what they think of us. This is how stupid they think we are. Oh, go Stacy. So that's Stacey Abrams dancing with the BLM crew because that's how stupid they think you are. And here's Stacey with Barack Obama. Let's see what this is all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor to welcome back to the great state of Georgia the 44th President of the United States, President Barack Obama. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're really, she's pulling out all the stops. She's got Common campaigning for her. She's at the, here's, okay, so I think I watched the Common video. Oh, yeah, this propaganda. This is kind of how it all started, right? Like, what? This magazine, and then I think it was, so The Cut, I believe, is part of New York Magazine or The New Yorker, I forget. But then you have New York Magazine also propping up Fetterman. Here she is with Oprah. I mean, give me a break, bro. They're trying so hard. Think about it. They're trying so hard to reach these people, and then you can go to Academics' account and see that a lot of these people aren't nearly as stupid as you think they are. I don't know where the oh God. This is pathetic. Ugh. She's dancing like this is like hot sauce in my bag, you know, Hillary Clinton stuff. Like, look at me dance. Come on, guys. Like, you guys are still brainwashed. Come on. Where's the whatever? We don't need to talk about the common one. I talked about the common one in another in a different stream or different video or whatever, but this is one. This is absolutely despicable. This is her at a Lotto, Latto, which Lotto is just, in the Cardi B lane, Nicki Minaj lane. And shout out Nicki, though. She stood up a little bit to the Rona juice. Nothing crazy, but she was at least thinking about it mildly. Cardi B, Nicki, what's the other chick? Meg the Stallion. Like, this is what she's doing. She's at a concert telling a crew of probably, most likely, if you know this Lotto woman, you would know that you would assume that a lot of her followers. Look, this is Lotto, okay? This is Lotto. One of these women is Lotto, I believe. I don't even know which one. I think this one on the right. I honestly don't even know. Yeah. This is Lotto, okay? This is Lotto. This is Lotto, okay? So, drinking a Colt 45 out of a brown paper bag, okay? So, this is the rapper, quote-unquote rapper, that Stacey Abrams is joining on stage to tell people that Republicans are not going to let you kill your baby. That's basically what's happening. Thank you for sharing your stage with me, Lotto. Time to vote and protect a woman's right to choose. Despicable. They're holding signs that have the word pussy on them. Look at this. Protect women's rights, pussy. And Stacey Abrams is holding my body, my choice. So this is what they think of you. This is what they think of you. Again, this is the woman whose concert she's at. I haven't seen any of these. I don't even know one of her songs, but this is the demographic they're targeting, right? Now, I don't know for sure, but I believe that this demo is probably has some overlap with the Academics demo, right? So this is just how stupid they think you are. They're trying so hard to get this audience to do as they're told, but then when you go to Act's page, you could see that a lot of them see through it. So I don't know what to make of all this, but the establishment, the machine is I mean, they are going all in. Enough of that. Enough is, I mean, I think she does. Despicable. Absolutely despicable, okay? Enough of that. Enough of Stacey Abrams. I mean, that's how stupid they think you are. So she's dancing with BLM. She's on stage at a Lotto concert. I mean, it gets no worse, really. Like, they do not think very much of you at all. You know what I'm saying? In fact, they think you're incredibly stupid. So, I mean, there's just so much more. There was just so much nonsense this week. The Washington Compost was on an absolute tear. They were, look at this. Now, this is their opinion page. It's just murder living in a red state from the Washington Compost. I mean, across the country, Republicans and allied groups have spent tens of millions of dollars running tens of thousands of crime-related ads over the past 2 months, often with racist undertones or worse. The Congressional Leadership Fund, the main super PAC affiliated with the House GOP leadership, has emphasized crime more than any other topic, but the economy in its ads. Yeah, so well, I mean, maybe that's happening. Like, you know, Kathy Hochul, unelected governor, kickback Kathy Hochul in New York wants you to believe that the crime is a figment of your imagination. Same thing with Eric Adams. Even though Eric Adams flip-flops, at first he said, a long time ago, he said, oh, the subway is just fine. Then he said, actually, I don't even feel safe on there. But now it's election time, so he has to say, oh, no, it's a figment of your imagination again. But this is what the Washington Post is doing. It's murder living in a red state. Give me a break. Another one from the Washington Compost, the Trump tapes. 20 interviews that show why he is an unparalleled danger. Whoa. I mean, give me a break. Adderall shortage is so bad some patients can't fill their prescription. Yeah, so they're also going to go to bat for the pharmaceutical industry. And this is from the Washington Post, not even Post opinions, which, you know, I will give them credit for at least, you know, separating the two, but it's all still absolute nonsense. This is not from the Compost, but from Vanity Fair, one and the same. Trump is actively plotting to steal the midterm elections and the next presidential one. No way. I thought we couldn't say that. No. All of the elections are real. Everything is real. There's never been anything wrong with any of these except if a Republican wins. That's what they're saying here. Why isn't he behind bars? These people are insane. And speaking of being behind bars, there's one, from Maxine Waters. Mad Max Waters, right? This is a tweet that she posted to Instagram. Clarence Thomas has abused his powers to freeze the subpoena for Lindsey Graham. These Trump sycophants are doing everything they can to protect each other. In the end, they all need to go to prison. If we allow them to go without punishment, they will destroy our democracy. So this is the woman who stood up on a literal soapbox and said, if you see anybody from the Trump administration, get in their face and yell at them. And now she's saying they need to go to prison. This is absolute insanity. So she can talk like this, but then when something happens to Paul Pelosi or Katie Hobbs's campaign headquarters, then they immediately point the finger across the aisle. Meanwhile, they're doing this the entire time, and the media covers for them. But I do think that most people see through it. There's only a small pocket of people who are still incredibly brainwashed, you know, maybe in Oregon or Washington, California, of course, New York, but anywhere else, people see through this. It's over. This is like you guys trying to tell us that a man can magically become a woman. We see through it. It's done. Going back to the Post for a second. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm going out of order, but whatever. This is crazy. Anthony Fauci is the greatest public servant I have known. What? I mean, look at this little rat-faced little weasel man. Bro, you're older than Joe Biden. You should have retired 2 decades ago. You've been lying and cheating and stealing for, I'm sure, far longer than Rona, but you kind of overplayed the hand with Rona, and now we can all see through it. And the Washington Compost is saying that he's the greatest public servant I have known. Well, I mean, you could at least say it was Martin Luther King. I guess was he a public servant? I don't know. Like in public office, I guess not. But you can, come on, Washington Compost, it should at least be a black person or a person of color. Oh yeah, so along with the Fauci stuff, right? This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. Look at this. The most common symptoms of COVID have changed. Oh, really? They changed? How did that happen? They just changed? Oh, what? So, don't shrug off that sneeze or scratch at the back of your throat. As coronavirus variants continue to evolve, become more difficult to detect, so do the symptoms, allowing more people to spread it without realizing it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So we're spreading it even though nobody's actually getting sick. So just remain afraid. Signs of infection are increasingly hard to tell apart from symptoms of common cold or flu. Well, that is impossible. Nobody, I mean, who would have seen that coming? How could that possibly be? Nobody ever said anything like that before. It's crazy. And it just goes on like this. I'm going to try to get through some more of these, but this is actually older, but I saw it recently. Are men in dresses and wigs still funny in comedy? Well, if it's funny, it's funny, right? It's pretty much that simple. This is from the New York Times. You tell me, is the joke funny? It doesn't matter what he's wearing. Is it funny? They're just trying to obviously maintain control. Like, is it still okay to laugh at? Can you even watch Miss Doubtfire in 2022? Is that still funny? Oh, no, probably not. Like, men and women is not even real. And then you have from New York Magazine, and this is the same publication that did the puff piece about John Fetterman and how him being a stroke victim is apparently good for us. Tom Brady is miserable and no one is sorry. Because they hate success and they hate people who are good at things and who have worked hard and practiced. So, yeah, Tom Brady is going through a divorce, and they're basically celebrating. It's absolutely despicable. Some more Trump stuff. Trump's stolen documents had classified info on China and Iran. Like, give it a rest. Pro-Trump rally rages over demonic satellites, McDonald's. The Reawaken America was a whole new kind of crazy. Oh, they're so crazy. They're so crazy. Can you believe it? They think that men and women are different. That's so extreme. Oh, my God. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, QAnon. These people are pathetic. Beto O'Rourke can't win without suburban women. They don't seem sold. Okay, so Vox maybe making a piece of real news in this particular case because nobody likes this dude. It's all fake. It's all AstroTurf airdrop nonsense. I want to talk about these two really quick, but this is AOC, right? So she's, I guess, running against Tina Forte, I believe, in New York's 14th district or something, Queens and the Bronx, and these hacks are letting her do a puff piece about In-N-Out Burger.
And while you're out here, will you be going to In-N-Out? And is there anything you can do at a federal level to take on the quality of the fries?
Thank you for saying this.
People need to talk about it.
Thank you for saying this, because every time I come out here, everyone's like, oh my God, In-N-Out, In-N-Out. And I'm like, my controversial non-political opinion is that it's overrated.
Yes.
But it's because like I'm a big fry person.
What are they doing
What
with these
is this dry fry thing going on here?
There's other fries nearby they can sample and learn.
I agree.
And then the people say, order them well done. I got to do a special order. Make them right.
Yeah. Thank you. You said it all. So.
That's it. And while you're
Okay, well, I actually don't agree with that at all. I like the In-N-Out fries. I like the In-N-Out burgers. So yeah, there's that. But this is what crooked media. This is basically like Midas Touch. Fake Vox Media, Democrat propaganda. All of it is propaganda. Every single thing is propaganda. Some of it is right, very little of it is right wing. Most of it is left wing. But so while she needs to be actually working for the people in her county, she's out in Los Angeles doing a podcast talking about In-N-Out Burger. It's absolutely pathetic. Okay, and in this realm of AOC, this is a teacher, right? This woman, like Sari Beth, whatever, she's like an Instagram TikToker or whatever. But this, to me, is one of the most despicable things too. So I was talking to somebody about how these people, they never actually make a point, right? They just give you this smug look and roll their eyes, and they never say why. They never explain why what they're doing makes sense or why what you're doing is wrong. They just give you this smug like, what? Did you not go to college or something? And this is her whole thing. She will never talk. She will just give you this eye roll and be like, Republicans, can you believe it? What Taylor really means is karma is the entire Trump family and their accomplices going to jail. See, there we go again. They wish to put their political opponents in jail. Meanwhile, their violent foot soldiers are getting bailed out if that, right? And then she says, karma, please do your thing for democracy's sake. But she there's no word. She doesn't explain any of it. I guess it's a joke. It's a meme. But it goes like this, I mean, for hundreds of posts. This is a teacher. This woman is teaching kids in New York. Let's take a look. Yeah. Sari Beth Rosenberg. She, her, hers. PBS. NewsHour Extra co-founder, Teachers Unify, teacher who writes / talks history, politics, and ed, recently in Parents, Axios, NBC News, and Teen Vogue. Okay? Look. 20 years ago today, I walked into my school and got hired. So this is old. This is an old post that she's pinned to the top of the page. But this woman has been corrupting and brainwashing and manipulating and indoctrinating children in New York for 20 years, okay? And look, here's all of her. Look, so we should all be allowed to make every student feel welcome in our classroom. Okay, is she actually going to say something?
I'm in a fantastic mood.
Nope.
Let me tell you. I'm in a fantastic mood. Let me tell you.
It's just a 4 or 5 second, loop of nothing. And she never makes any points.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Realizing that I called my doctor but forgot to call my local politician the last time I had bad cramps to see what he thinks I should do.
Oh my God. 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 Oh my God.
It's nothing. She's just this heavy makeup wearing, like I'm guessing she doesn't have kids, so she's just indoctrinating children for the past 20 years. And to be honest with you, she does look good. If she started the job at 20 and she's 40 now, she doesn't look bad, but it's all pathetic nonsense. And this is the AOC effect, in my opinion, right? Or maybe AOC is a product of this. Every time Ron DeSantis shares a bother, there's a typo in it. Every time Ron DeSantis shares a bother lie about American history or what's being taught in schools, never makes a point.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. She's back.
Nothing.
Tell
Nothing,
a friend
ever.
to tell a friend.
That's her whole account. And so look, 18,000 likes, 366 likes, 539 likes. She's got 18,000 followers. And then here's one I think I saw, 330 likes. And this is her actually
talking. The right wing is wrong on pretty much everything, in my humble opinion.
Oh, groundbreaking. Will she tell us why? I don't know. But it says, we need more synergy between teachers and parents. We must counteract the false right-wing narrative that there is a cabal of teachers meeting in dark alleyways scheming about ways to indoctrinate children. Yeah, of course, they're not in a dark alleyway. They're in boardrooms and PTA meetings and stuff. Yeah, so they can throw that dark alleyway in there to say they're not in dark alleyways, but the rest of it is true. Let's see if she actually explains something for once in her life.
But I will say that they're doing a fantastic job at this narrative, at building this narrative over several years, really since for decades now, that there's some, like I like to call this cabal, a secret cabal of teachers meeting in dark alleyways, scheming about ways to indoctrinate students, their precious children, right? And I think we started seeing that even during the the height of the COVID pandemic, that teachers are hiding their children's precious faces and there's no reason to wear a mask. But that kind of was stoked and they got fired up, and it led to this whole CRT thing and book bans. And we really need to do some work on counteracting that false narrative and reminding parents that teachers, first of all, have no interest in indoctrinating your kids, let alone no time. We don't have time for that, even if we wanted to. And there's also this false narrative that our curriculum is secret. You can Google most curriculums, and pretty much all teachers have their lesson plans and curriculum on their Google Classrooms online. And so I think we just need to start just returning these crazy conspiracy theories with facts, plain and simple, and remind parents that we're not their enemy. We're the right way.
Again, it's just every single thing is projected. Oh, there's conspiracy theories. It's like this same woman would 100% tell you that a little boy can become a little girl off the top. And like that is it's 100% indoctrination. So yeah, her account is absolute garbage. I feel sorry for anybody who's ever had this woman as a teacher. Last one. Thank you for all my trolls. Thank you to all my trolls for spiking up all those views on my Oh, so smug. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. And we also know, we can be 99.9% sure she would never go on a not 100% friendly interview, right? She would never go on Tim Pool. She would never go on Tucker. No, they probably would never invite her. She's not that important. But she won't, that she won't even try to make her point to somebody who doesn't believe her. She's only going to, preach to the choir, which I guess is what a lot of people do. That's what I mostly do. But I am more than willing to talk to anybody about any subject. And we all know that she would get out of here. All right. So that's, the rest of it's pretty old. This goes back weeks. Oh yeah. Here's another one from Vice really quick. An abandoned mining site in Germany might not be the first place that comes to mind for anarchic, I don't know, queer techno music festival, but you learn to expect the unexpected. United Queer Festival. Beautiful photos from queer techno paradise. Yeah, beautiful. That's in the eye of the beholder. Gee. Okay. Nope. This is what Vice is doing. Yeah. So that's it. This is when I guess we already did this one. We talked about Dylan. I think it's a troll.
It's day 222 of being a girl.
This got to be a troll. Still got to be a troll. I'm maintaining glass half full. This is a troll. So that's pretty much everything. I saved all these over the past couple of weeks or whatever. More live streams soon. Some videos, some streeters. I don't know. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Is that what I think that's everything that a YouTuber is supposed to say. See you next time.